Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the Virus Edition, a.k.a. the Pandy Pods, a.k.a. Josh Fielder's 2 saltines, 1 quarantine.
Yes,
one Sklarantine,
I think, yes.
I love it. I love all the ones that everyone's sending. I love 1 egg, 4 legs. That's so good.
That's a solid one.
Just we'll dig through and continue to dig through the ones that you've sent, but we just love them.
2 dorks, no sporks.
A.k.a. Jorts Center, a.k.a. 2 men, 1 Afghan.
Between them.
Guys, happy to be doing this show for you. Hope you're enjoying it. We try and collect these stories up and like I said, like we've said all along, give you 20 minutes to a half hour to just relax and breathe. We're still putting out the content on Fridays. We still do View from the Cheap Seats. We have an unbelievable episode that dropped today if you're looking for other content to listen to. Fantastic with Ray Ratto, one of the best sports journalists in history.
Yes.
San Francisco Chronicle, KNBR, met him on Jim Rome's TV show, so we get into a great conversation with him. He's just a no-nonsense,
He's
BS.
a phenomenal misanthrope.
He's He's like a lovable curmudgeon, so he's on that show. And we do Dumb People Town with Daniel Van Kirk, dropping minis every other Friday and dropping full episodes every Tuesday. So check that out. Subscribe to it all. Let's jump into a story, shall we, right now?
Yep.
We're going to kick things off with a little bit of a quickie. A story to make you feel better about yourselves, because that's part of this thing too. You're
Right.
like-
So we all, I don't know about you, but I certainly feel bad about myself about 10 times a day,
Yeah.
bad about what I'm eating, bad about how much TV and screens I'm letting my kids sit on, bad about all the things that I'm letting go that I'm not doing, bad about all the books I'm not reading. We all feel bad about ourselves.
Yeah.
This is a story to help you feel better.
At least you can say, hey, this guy's not me.
I'm
All
not
right.
this guy.
All right. Crawford County, Indiana. A sleeping drunken man. Sleeping drunken man. You gotta let sleeping drunken man lie.
You do. You don't want to bug him.
Unless he drifted down a flooded Indiana river for more than 7 miles before he was rescued by DNR conservation officers and sheriff's deputy. DNR, is that a do not resuscitate?
I'm not sure, but it is kind of awesome that he floated down the river. Like
DNR,
bitches,
DNR.
Nothing sounds more relaxing to me than just floating.
Drunkenly floating down?
Drunkenly floating down a river. We went on float trips.
We used to go on float trips with our parents and our parents' friends, the Coners, and we would get into inner tubes. I cannot believe Mom did this, and I can't believe Dad convinced Mom. So our mom could not, and to this day cannot swim. It's crazy that she can't swim. I think someone pushed her in a pool one time as a very little kid, and she got scared.
In an attempt to teach her, and she got so
very
scared.
scared, and she, was like
Thrashed around and felt like she was drowning.
And so once that trauma hits, she's like, I'm never going in. And so she never, ever learned how to swim.
But she loved her family so much and didn't want to be left out and not participate. That
She would inner tube
down the Merrimack River.
Sit in an inner tube where you're kind of out. It's beautiful, and you just float like a float trip. You just float down the river in an inner tube. I mean, if our parents drank beer, which they didn't, that would have been the perfect time for them to drink beer.
I want to do a float trip.
Float trip would be so much fun.
Shit.
When I was up on the Russian River with my family a couple summers ago, they rented inner tubes at the schoolhouse campsite, the old schoolhouse campsite, and you would get in. You'd basically walk up the river and then float like a mile or two down, and then walk because you float this bendy way, and then you just walk kind of a 3/4 of a mile back up, and then you float back down. And we did it like 10 times. It was so much fun just to let the river carry you in an inner tube. There is nothing more relaxing or wonderful. But if the inner tube goes over, there was water that was like lower than what Mom would have drowned. She would have drowned.
Yes.
So she risked drowning just to hang out with us on a float trip.
She wasn't a drunk guy sleeping, though.
Officers and witnesses. So there were multiple witnesses. Who's that guy going down there?
Kids, what are you doing?
We're
just
looking at
watching
a drunk guy float. His deputy and CO's Neil Brewington, Jim Schreck.
It's instead of a root beer float, it's just a beer float.
That's right. Officers and witnesses say the deputy and CO's Neil Brewington, Jim Schreck, Dennis Talley, and Logan Hodges. Why are there so many people on this thing?
But Brewington sounds like the place where the guy got the beer.
Drunk.
Yeah,
That's right. Very likely saved the man's life since he was passed out in a raft with a bottle of rum in his lap as he approached the Milton Dam on the Blue River in Crawford. Bottle of rum in the lap to me, Jay, sounds like
So comfortable.
Well, first of all, it sounds like a pirate.
Yeah.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum
in your lap. And,
Yo ho ho.
but
and
he's
bottle
on a
of rum.
raft. He wasn't just so in my mind initially he was just floating down the river.
And then got drunk.
Yeah.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, gonna float away because I'm so dumb.
Right. So
That's a song.
He
Classic
perhaps
pirate tale.
He passed out, and he passed out on a raft, and little did he know the world flooded around him.
You know this guy refers
Maybe
to,
he was sleeping on the banks of the river,
and then it took off.
got so drunk that he just passed out.
And as he laid back, it gave the thing the push it needed to go on.
That's it.
You know how much you want to bet this guy refers to himself as Captain Morgan? You know he
definitely
does
that. Yeah.
Brewington and Shrek were the first to locate the man, but were unable to reach him with throw bags or awaken him despite shouting and blowing a whistle from the bank. That's how drunk he was. A whistle and bags thrown at him could not awaken the man.
Jeez.
To which his third wife answered to no one, see what I have to put up with?
See this?
Further efforts came when Tally and Hodges launched a boat while
Tally and Hodges, are they the new Rizzolian Isles? Or is it
Brewington and Shrek are the new Rizzolian Isles. Tally and Hodges are the new Brewington and Shrek. Tagline across the river and rescue the swimmer in hopes of preventing the man from going over.
So a rescue swimmer,
going over the roaring dam. They're like, this guy's going over a dam right here.
and he's that drunk and he's so tired he's passed out he doesn't know.
Every single person here, as Jason pointed out, sounds like the new Rizzolian Isles. Tally and Hodges, Brewington and Trek, Cagney and Lacey, Rizzolian Isles. They're the new Rizzolian Isles. Yes. Everyone is blowing whistles, throwing bags, sending out boats. And he would not wait. Swimmers, he would not wake up.
It sounds like
a kid's book.
Yeah.
We threw the bags. We sent out the swimmers. We whistled from the dam, and he would not wake up. This dumb, drunk idiot sleeps better on a raft going downstream than I do on a Tempur-Pedic bed.
Jesus Christ.
I woke up 5 times last night to pee.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? What in the world is wrong with me? I think it's a psychosomatic thing, but I
you
certainly
also didn't have a bottle of rum in your lap.
I can't believe it. This guy is sleeping on a raft going downriver to a dam that
To
will
his
send-
death.
To
To
his
his
death,
death.
and he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping comfortably in a bed with a ceiling fan and a sound machine, and I'm up every hour and a half.
When you're an alcoholic at this guy's level, you've been floating towards your death for years.
Fortunately, Crawford County deputies spotted the man who had washed ashore a few miles above the dam. He was eventually able to reach him. Now, is he talking physically, emotionally,
Metaphysically?
cosmically?
Yeah.
Because no one's been able to reach this guy since and I'm just going to assume his ferret ran away. Yeah. That ferret meant everything to me. I swear to God.
I used to look into his soul.
I took him on errands. I put him on a leash. Then I unleashed him
He
at the
understood
park
me.
when I wasn't supposed to unleash him.
He used to understand.
He
When
was only.
I said, not if you know what I'm talking about, and he did.
After a medical evaluation, Hodges arrested the man without incident. Yeah, he's in the hospital. He's being medically evaluated. Have you ever seen someone who's been just like drunk, so drunk that like their feet swell up?
Right. So this is someone who's so drunk that the arrest is simply like a way to help him. Like it's a
You're helping
rescue.
him. You're helping
the
him.
arrest is a rescue.
It's a rescue.
That's what it is.
After medical evaluation, Hodges arrested the man without incident. That's what we said. Officers were assisted by multiple fire departments and EMS personnel. So there were a lot of people that had to. Mm-hmm. This guy is taking up a lot of resources, in my opinion. My guess is the guy was still asleep when they put the cuffs on him.
Yeah.
And when he wakes up, he won't even remember being on a river at all. What
or
river?
Being arrested. He's going to wake up at the hospital.
You know he's going to say the phrase, what river,
river?
what raft, and where's my ferret? Those are the 3 first questions that he's going to say.
Yeah.
How much is he going to blame his ex-girlfriend for this?
100%.
Right? All of this. You know how his mind works. That's the way he rolls.
That's Sherry for you.
That's it. God damn it. All right. That's our first story. How do you like that, Jay?
It floated down the river of this podcast so beautifully.
The river
so
of our dreams. That's the way it goes. So that's the deal. We're going to take a little break and then we'll come back. Enjoy this music. Enjoy whatever we're going to talk about for an ad in this little period of time. Cleanse yourself. And then we'll be back with another story, a crazy story on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, Sklar Brothers here. Want to talk to you about something that is relevant and important and affecting all of our lives, which is a high level of anxiety that we are all experiencing because the world has a lot of anxiety right now. Remember all the low level anxiety that you have in your life? Well, now it's been compounded, and we know that quarantine is a difficult situation. Sometimes you're quarantining alone and you have no one to talk to. Sometimes you're quarantining with your family and you can't get away and you can't get space and you need an outlet to talk to someone. Well,
And it was just Mental Health Awareness Month, or it might still be. And I just know that it is important to take care of yourself, especially right now. And that's why I'm so glad that Talkspace is our wonderful sponsor and our partner here. It's an online therapy. They're more committed than ever to expanding access to support for anyone who's struggling right now. With Talkspace, it's great. You get the support of a licensed therapist from the safety of your home. You can reach out from your device whenever something is on your mind. You can send a therapist a text, audio, picture, video messages from your phone or computer 24/7 as much as you need. Everything happens within Talkspace's secure platform, all on your schedule. What they do, Jay, is they match you with a licensed therapist based on your needs and preferences. They have thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties. And the most important ones, I think, right now, although all are important, but right now, people are dealing with anxiety, depression, and relationship issues. They have people for that. And once you're matched, the very next day you can start out. Here's the bottom line. You deserve support. You don't have to struggle on your own. Your Talkspace therapist can be your dedicated support system, there to help you feel healthier and more empowered, even in these uncertain circumstances.
Absolutely.
So as a listener to this podcast, you can get $100 off your first month on Talkspace. To match with your perfect therapist, go to Talkspace.com or download the app and make sure you use the code SKLAR, SKLAR, to get $100 off your first month.
Which is a great deal.
It's a great deal. It lets them know that we sent you, and that's how you do it. You go Talkspace.com and type in Sklar to get $100 off your first month. Do it, guys. We all need that help right now, and Talkspace is here to offer that for you. So thank you, Talkspace. And just feel better. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Want to remind people, big time news next Thursday night. We are doing our first headlining set of comedy, and it doesn't matter where you live, you can access it. It's at the Nowhere Comedy Club. If you go to eventbrite.com and look up Night of 1,000 Sklars, you will see us. You can get a ticket. Dan Van Kirk is doing a 20-minute set in that show. It's awesome. We can hear, it's like if we get it sold out, it's a 390-person Zoom call.
I think we're about a third of the way sold out, but I think there's only like 18 or 19 VIP tickets left.
So the VIP thing is we're going to have like a Zoom call where we can just talk to people and answer questions and just hang out afterwards, and you get a chance to do that. It was
Look,
so
what
much
else
fun.
you got to do? It's next Thursday night.
For all the people who listen to our podcast and say, why don't you come to Boise? Why don't you come here? I wish you guys would come and do a show here. And we try and figure it out. Now we're saying you can come see us. You just go to eventbrite.com and look up Night of 1,000 Sklars, get your ticket, and we want to sell this thing out. Let's try and sell this thing out. I know there are lots of people listening to this show. If we just get like a fraction of the people who listen to this show, we can go sell this thing out. All right, guys, let's get into this other story. Now, I'm just going to go in the story. And by the way, nobody who is listening is going to believe that this is the thing. This is what I'm going to assume, Jay.
Like it's too far-fetched.
It's a thing. I'm telling you before I get into it, it is a thing. I'll just read the headline, and I promise you, a lot of you are going to be like, what? The mastermind behind a baby formula crime syndicate. I could stop right there.
Is it the little from the cartoons, Babyface?
No. Has admitted to shipping hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of milk powder she bought off of Supermarket Thieves. Supermarket Thieves was my favorite game show.
That is, yeah.
Is that what it was called, Supermarket Thieves?
Supermarket Sweep.
And then shipping it to China. Mastermind baby formula crime syndicate. Did you ever think you would hear those words
no.
together?
I would never put those
How
words
in
together.
the world do you get involved in that? Was this woman voted most likely to in high school? Like
To
everyone's
participate in a baby formula crime syndicate?
most likely
Possibly.
to mastermind a baby formula crime
So
syndicate.
here's this. This is not. This
It
is
had
not
to
an
be a
act
woman.
of desperation. This is a lifelong goal coming to fruition.
This is an opportunist. First of all, it has to be a woman. It had to be a woman to do this. Okay. And I'll explain why. Yeah. Because, this is not, no man until they breastfeed can understand the importance of, they can understand baby formula as a business, but they cannot understand the emotional connection you have to feeding a child.
So and also baby formula, breastfeeding is a beautiful bonding moment between the mother and the child.
Not everybody can do it.
Not everyone can do it. You also don't know exactly how much your baby is getting. There's no way to gauge how much they're getting. So a lot of times, breastfed children will wake up a few hours later, or
It's harder for them. Whereas baby formula kids,
kids, you know what they got. They got a full bottle. They drank it all.
they're like a drunk guy on a raft heading towards a dam.
Right?
They don't care.
They grow quicker.
Yeah.
They get to sleep quicker. It's an easier path, right? But obviously, breastfeeding is this beautiful bonding moment that mothers and children
So
don't
give
want to
and
miss.
take positive, but I'm saying a woman understands the importance of this. I can tell you the story. When my first daughter was born, Daisy was born. This is now 14 years ago, okay? 14 and a half years ago. Couple months old, my wife was breastfeeding, and what she would do is at the end of the night, she would pump whatever was left so that we would have it in little bags in the freezer that we could then put in bottles and
You
kind of do
could
what you're
feed
saying.
in the middle of the night.
That's right. And I could feed and she could sleep. And so it was just a wonderful thing. However, some women produce a lot. They just are like factories and can produce a lot. Other women do not. And it can be a difficult moment. You get self-conscious about it. But what you do produce, if you don't produce a lot, is like liquid gold.
Oh, yeah.
So she had finished producing it one night.
It's like uranium,
We're
enriched uranium.
Yes, we are tired. No one has slept. I am going to take the 2 bottles of, and I didn't put caps on it. I'm taking the 2 bottles that she had maybe done just a little bit, and I was going to go pour it in a bag. And I turned and I tripped on the corner of the rug like I was Jerry Lewis in a movie.
Lady
with the milk and the goo. And I spilled it on the carpet.
And you,
All this
and you
work that
watched
she had done, and I watched it roll out
into the carpet.
She was like, she shrieked, understandably.
Yeah.
And I looked up to the heavens, and the movie that is my life that was going on, crane up and out, and I was like, no. And my no woke my daughter up.
So, like, you know what she wanted at that moment?
The milk that I had
And you
dropped
know
on
what your wife didn't have left in her because she just pumped?
Any milk.
There's a couple hours of crying.
Right?
So we understand the value of formula. We're not saying it's not a valuable thing, but Mastermind Baby Formula Crime Syndicate, that's insane.
This is just, okay, this is a crazy story. It's a woman's game, is all I'm saying. The baby food crime syndicate, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Not saying a man can't do it. I'm just saying women understand it more. Well, Leaky Lee, L-I-E-K-E, Leaky, 50. So she's our age, almost.
A couple years older.
Bought tins of formula for between $16 and $25, depending on the brand, that were stolen from supermarkets and chemists in Sydney. Them Sydney chemists, you hear?
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
This sounds like verses from this woman's next rap album. I be running the baby food crime syndicate like I'm Gerber's, working with them Sydney chemists on a merger.
That's good. That's good.
So-
I let my baby cry all night because of Ferber.
That's right. Ooh. So she was letting them basically getting them by using shoplifting teams. I got shoplifting teams.
She got teens on the street. She got
I
a
got
street team.
shoplifting teams, yo, because I'm the baby food crime syndicate queen.
She got a street team.
Between November 2017 and August 2018, teams of shoplifting. Who's the A team and who's the B team?
I don't know.
It's like American Pimp.
This is unreal.
Detectives set up a series of cameras under mats in the shopping carts to watch Kay conduct a range of illegal exchanges with thieves in public areas, including car parks and Bunnings stores, which I'm assuming are supermarkets.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they were onto you, and the fact that you got away with it a bunch of times made her complacent.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Oh,
This is what they do when you're doing a big thing. They're like, let's wait and let's get all
Let
the
them
evidence.
get loose.
Just
Let them get sloppy.
Let them think they're getting
Let them
away
think
with it.
they're in the clear.
She's probably like, I got it. It's like taking formula from a baby store.
Yes.
Kay, who moved to Carlington in Western Sydney from China in 2001, used her connections to sell the tins in China for more than $80 each. So she's buying them at 16 to 24, selling them
for
at 80.
That's a hell of a mark.
One thief said she made around $4,000 per week for selling 15 to 100 containers of stolen milk powder per day to the syndicate leader. This is crazy. So that's not even
The person
That's
who's
right.
in charge.
So this was an operation, y'all.
Yeah.
Who's buying the formula from a syndicate, though?
Yeah.
By the way, who is buying baby formula in a back alley in China? You know what I mean? It's available everywhere.
Also, like
At every
that's
store.
the last thing you want to take a chance on putting some weird substance from a black market option in your kid's
And yes, it's like a cocaine deal. Yes, it's a white powder.
Yes.
Okay. And yes, it stops
body.
crying.
Do they open the tin and then smell it and wipe it on their teeth?
Yeah, that's baby formula.
Taste it.
It's gonna feel great, and it's gonna stop someone in your house from crying. But it's baby formula, and it's everywhere. You can get it online.
Isn't it available everywhere?
Maybe not in China. A police fact sheet stated that at least 10 suppliers were identified by the police in the investigation. Let's call them what they are. They're pushers.
Yeah, they're
right. Suppliers, pushers.
Suppliers.
6 told police they would regularly sell baby formula to K. Yo, you got my powder on the reg, yo. You know what snitches get? Snitches get sandwiches. One of the officers or one of the offenders would act as a lookout within the store throughout the process of the fact sheet. The offenders would then attend the self-service checkout, create a distraction. The other one would walk out the store. That's the old end around. We call that the old baby formula end around.
I will say this. The
fact this is going on now is insane.
I know, but the self-service checkout to me is the store saying we want you to start doing the work that you have to do.
No, the self-service checkout, as my wife's employee comes in right now. How are you? The self-service checkout is essentially put your own tags on your bags.
Right.
That's what it is.
But it's like you do the work. It's you do the work.
You weigh it, you put the tag on, you're going to have to start doing that now, which by the way is now going to be everything.
Yes.
So Kay was arrested in October last year, and the police searched the home of her daughter-in-law on the same street. Okay, so you married into this family now.
She's the daughter-in-law. Now you know.
Now you have a new path in life. Now you know how you wanted to be a speech pathologist?
Well, look out. Now you're a lookout at the supermarket.
That's right. Or your storage for the goods is what you're looking at right now.
That's right. You're the grow house. This is like weeds, but it has to do with like the weeds are the.
Now, police have not alleged the daughter-in-law involved in criminal activity, but if she wants like a Christmas gift this year, she's going to have to play ball, so to speak.
Well, I mean, she knows
the garage is going to have to magically be open late at night.
Right.
If you know what I mean? You're going to have to forget to close it late at night.
It's like a head coach who doesn't know what else is going on within his team. You know what's going on in the house.
So these searches located more than 4,000 tins of baby formula, large quantities of vitamin, Manuka honey. She's the sweetest Manuka honey. She's a devil. Mm-hmm. My guess is that the daughter-in-law doesn't have any kids.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a red flag to have 4,000 tins of formula. Like, if she did have a baby, she could just be like, I'm trying to fatten him up.
Look, I'm hoarding
trying
for
to
my
fatten him
child.
up, which
I'm trying to fatten him up.
In the United States is not that's kind of I feel like in China, they would say, I'm trying to fatten my kid. China, where they've thrown babies away.
Right.
They would say, I'm trying to fatten my kid.
But China's also the place where like they would take pride in having the fattest baby ever.
That's right. Fattening up, good. That's a good thing. Yeah. Look at how fat my baby is. It's like we don't have a stroller. We've got a wheelbarrow.
Right.
Police also found more than $250,000 in cash hidden one of the houses that was seized. That's never good.
No.
How do you explain that away?
Yeah,
there's no explanation for having over $200,000 lying around your house.
More than like $4,000.
I just went to the bank. That doesn't work.
I don't trust the bank.
These COVID payments are sick. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I just cashed my bar mitzvah money.
Doesn't work.
That explains $6,000. By the way,
$6,000 is too much money to have lying around your house.
I'm just going to say this: $6,000 when we were kids, $6,000 today. Bar mitzvah money has not gone up in any way, shape, or form.
$6,000 is the flattening of the curve.
That's all you're going to get.
Wow.
Though prosecutors could not prove that all the cash was made from baby formula sales, the other money was made in black market bouncy house rentals. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Court documents say that Kay moved $394,000 into a bank account owned by her partner between November 18th and November 2018 and August, I guess it was 2019. Nothing suspicious there.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious there at all.
Moving tons of funds from one person to someone else.
I'm sure she just paid taxes on all of it, right?
Oh, yeah. Probably extra just to be safe.
Part of that money is believed to be the result of stolen milk powder. Stolen milk powder scratch. That just sounds illicit.
Sounds dirty.
Kay denied knowing that the powder was stolen and said she only bought formula from people who said they bought it cheaply. So now she's changing her tune.
This is where
I thought I was buying. The way you think you're buying it, not from the store or a reputable place, but from someone else, and they tell you that it's all good.
Yeah.
Like no one has ever said that ever. Like in a back alley on like a wet down asphalt. That's where you get your baby formula.
Yeah.
That's where most people buy baby formula.
That's where I shop.
That's not weird at all.
That's where I shop for my baby. I don't know why I'm suddenly the bad guy.
Every parent has bought their kids baby formula in a back alley cash only deal.
That's how it works.
I mean, if you've had a kid, you know exactly that's what it is. You're formula brokers. That's essentially what it is. You didn't steal any of this stuff.
Yes.
You have to assume that these people who are selling you in a back alley somewhere are totally legit.
Of course.
Kay and her husband pleaded guilty to reckless dealing of the proceeds of the crime. You knew her husband would get roped into this thing.
Yes.
He's like a systems analyst at Honeywell.
Dude was just sleeping on the couch and just saying like, yeah, just use the garage. I don't care. And now he's roped into this.
So his ass is now drugged into this.
Don't drag your husband's clean ass into your baby milk crime syndicate bullshit.
They will be sentenced in the Parramatta District Court in June. Crown prosecutors could not prove if she knew that the tins were illegally obtained, but they have a pretty good idea.
Look, this is the thing. What can you prove, and what can we all assume?
So
we assume she knew.
Well, here's the deal. The demand for baby powder in China surged after batches were contaminated in 2008. That's 12 years ago. Killing 6 babies, more than 54,000.
So that's 12 years ago, but that doesn't mean that the baby formula industry isn't still trying to capitalize on that. That's how evil giant corporations are.
And this person looked at this tragedy, saw that babies were killed and 54,000 were hospitalized, and saw an opportunity to exploit people based on fear.
That's right.
She's a good she's a business lady.
I feel bad for her.
Sellers began stripping Australian supermarket shelves of powder to sell to Chinese customers, forcing stores to ration customers to 2 tins each. So the Australians actually made a rule, like you can't buy a bunch of formula.
Like toilet paper.
This is just the side of the world that we don't understand that much about. And I'm not talking about Australia, although my quick final question before we go is, when your life goes down the drain in Sydney's, like this woman has, does it go down the drain in the different direction than it would here? Direction. And that's just because of the equator. All right, guys, that's a show. We say to you, punch a water faucet, then wash your hands. Stay connected, but
don't get infected.
Don't get infected. Stay protected. We love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.